One chilly fall afternoon, Jane Roberts had gotten off work early and decided to pay her respects to her father. Jane got in her 1968 Firebird as the smell of exhaust rose into the car. Jane started her way to the cemetery. Soon Jane arrived at the cemetery. As Jane walked by some of the graves and noticed that there was dig spots on some graves, Jane thought to herself, "That is quite odd." But she finally found her father's grave. Here lies James A. Roberts, 1899 to 1962. One single tear fell from her watery eyes. Then out of nowhere, a voice spoke very softly. "They're coming for you, Jane. The dead are rising and they're coming for you." The voice startled Jane, but she slowly turned and saw this man in a suit and glasses, skinny posture, and smelled of fear. Jane replied, "What?" But the man was gone, like he had disappeared. Soon after, laying roses on her father's grave, she started back to her car, but suddenly a figure appeared out of the forest with claw and bite marks on its arms and head. Jane was terrified out of her mind, and then instantly 20 or more of those creatures showed up. Jane quickly saw people fleeing for a farmhouse in a field. Jane quickly followed. Just as the door was closing, Jane squeezed in and saw 4 people. "Only 4 people?" Jane said. A man spoke up. "I'm Miles, this is Joe, and this is Anna." "Okay," Jane thought. Miles soon opened up a cabinet and pulled out a shotgun and said sadly, "Only 6 shots." Then Joe randomly busted down the door, running like a maniac. Joe got tackled by one of the creatures, and it ripped open Joe's stomach and started to eat his insides. Everyone else started to throw up all over, puke filled with blood and chunks of what they ate hours before. Miles, teary-eyed, said, "I need to go to the bathroom." 30 minutes later, Miles did not come back, so Jane busted down the door and saw Miles hanging by a rope. Jane walked back to Anna and said, "Miles is dead. It's only us." After hours of waiting and talking, they decided what to do. So they opened up the door to the field and walked to the middle and sat down, waiting for a horrific death by being eaten alive.
Wow, we seventh graders have quite imagining. Fantastic.